So I recently platinumed Prototype 1, and even though it was absolutely infuriating and stressful, I absolutely loved revisiting the game all these years later. And of course, with having obtained the Platinum Trophy for the first game, it only makes sense that in today's video we go for the Platinum Trophy in Prototype 2. If you haven't seen the first video, by the way, I will leave a link in the description and you can go check it out. We go over the whole kind of journey as well as the story, so you guys have an understanding of the events of the first game. Then again, the story in this game is quite messy. Gentek and Blackwatch have basically been redesigned into your typical evil villain, rather than being mostly secret organizations that kept their experiments hidden away. They now basically do whatever they want, where they want. You see this multiple times throughout the story. In fact, I believe they even release infected just loose on people just to see what happens. It's kind of crazy, and it kind of takes away from what the first game had got for the most part, so right. Saying all that though, having just played the first game, I can say that this feels like an absolute breath of fresh air. Obviously, the difficulty is significantly ramped down and you're not forced to do those events. It saves you a lot of time and stress. The changes to the combat I personally enjoyed. I absolutely loved the combat actually. It was really good. Very great improvement over the first game. I loved how much nicer and detailed the game looked compared to the first game. I feel like the environmental artist did a fantastic job, and in a lot of areas just looked so good. The artists and designers behind how the powers look themselves, massive improvement over the first game. And although some of the enemies look different and a lot of people didn't really like it, I personally loved the changes. The infected looked a lot more grotesque than before. The military, Blackwatch and Gentek all looked amazing, especially Blackwatch. I absolutely love the gear. It looks, in my opinion, absolutely phenomenal. Definitely feel like I've seen it in another game before, but I couldn't tell you what one. Anyway, as with all of my videos, I've broken this Platinum Trophy down into a few steps to use as a guideline throughout my time playing the game. Step 1 is to finish the game on easy. Basically treat it as a normal playthrough, enjoy the story, wreak havoc with the combat, explore the open world, and just generally have fun. Step 2 is cleanup. In this stage I will need to make my way around the 3 zones in the NYZ, collecting all of the Blackwatch logs, completing all of the Blacknet operations and completing the dossiers, and clear all of the hives. Significantly less collectibles and side activities than in the first game. Step 3 will be to complete all remaining miscellaneous trophies that we have left and never naturally earned throughout Step 1 and 2. Finally ending with Step 4, which will be to go through the game on hard mode, which thankfully we can do on New Game Plus, so we get to use all of our powers and everything like that, so it should be a breeze. Anyway guys, with all of that out of the way, let's start this journey. We begin the game as James Heller, a man consumed with rage, scarred by the loss of his wife and daughter due to the second outbreak of the previously Blacklight, now known as MRSA virus, and is a sergeant in the US Marines. We find out our boy has PTSD, no regard for personal safety, and a homicidal fixation on Alex Mercer, so it only makes sense that he's currently on patrol with other Marines out in the red zone of New York. All of a sudden, our APC is hit by a car seemingly thrown through the air, which knocks Heller out. When he comes to, he realises that his squad are dead and he begins to look around, and all of a sudden Alex Mercer, yes, the main protagonist of the first prototype, makes an appearance. While he is checking out the dead troops, Heller takes out his knife and sneaks up on Mercer and proceeds to slit his throat, and as you all know, this has little effect.
What the?
Getting control of Heller for the first time, we begin following Alex through the destroyed city. While making our way through the city, we find ourselves coming face to face with an absolute giant infected monster and are left with no choice but to run. We manage to make our way into a ruined building where we are jumped by another infected, however this one was much more easier to deal with.
Get the fuck off of me! Bitch.
Heller then notices Mercer again and charges at him head on. However, this didn't end well for our man James, as Alex pins him up against the wall before stabbing him with his claws and leaving us for dead. Heller is somewhat rescued and taken to a lab in the Yellow Zone where he's been experimented and tested on by Gen-Tech scientists led by Dr. Koenig and under the supervision of Blackwatch Commander Colonel Rooks and Lieutenant Riley. The Doctor is then instructed to begin the tests on Heller, and if that things go sour, then to burn him. Heller is released from the restraints he was held in, and we are once again given control of Heller and get our first taste of the game's combat. And right here we also unlock our first trophy of the game.
Only a survival stimulus.
Infected are released and it was time to defend ourselves. Now I must say this section, along with the music and sound effects, mwah, I loved it, absolutely loved it. What a brilliant little tutorial to combat. After holding out against the infected, Heller is burned alive and left in a very weakened state. To the dislike of Dr. Koenig, Colonel Rooks then sends some troops in to make sure James was dead, as he didn't want another Mercer running around. All of a sudden, James gets up off the ground, grabbing one of the troops and then proceeds to beat him into a bloody mess, consuming the troop's body and regenerating his. The Colonel then begins to burn us again, so we proceed to continuously consume the affected around us in order to survive, where we also unlock the compulsive eater trophy for consuming 5 things in 10 seconds or less.
Perimeter defense on this building.
Roger, Colonel. Rattler 1-1 is off your mic. That's my cue to leave.
We eventually escaped the testing facility, where it wasn't too long before we ran back into Alex Mercer, this time with a soldier in tow. Mercer goes on to explain that the viral outbreak was in fact a bioweapons test designed by Gen-Tech, controlled by Blackwatch, and blamed on him. To convince us, he has us consume Lieutenant Mark Simon, where Heller experiences his memories. Alex wanted our help with taking down Gen-Tech, and with the clear evidence that was shown to him and with Alex reminding him of the recent events that have transpired, James reluctantly agrees to help him. But first...
And for God's sake, man, put some fucking clothes on.
we also unlock the I Want Some More trophy. Once outside in the Yellow Zone of New York, we make our way over to the local church where we find its priest and our friend Father Louis Guerra. We explain to him our situation and tell him that we need his help, however he is reluctant to help due to his own personal run-ins with Blackwatch and not wanting to bring any kind of retaliation to his door. However, we plan to convince him otherwise. We also unlock the Religious Experience trophy for meeting Father Guerra.
If what Mercer says is true, I need to look into Gen-Tech and Blackwatch.
In our efforts to convince the father, we find ourselves at a park codenamed Test Site Washington, where we witness Blackwatch releasing a type of infected monster known as a brawler loose on a heavily crowded area. Of course, we can't allow the monster to kill all the innocent people, with the added bonus that we need to get our hands on its DNA. After hitting the brawler with our absolute fists of fury, we managed to get him weak enough, allowing us to consume him, absorbing his DNA as well as giving Heller the ability to shift his biomass into some claw arms, and unlocking another trophy. And I have to say, the character design has done an absolutely excellent job on the way the powers look in this game. A lot of detail has gone into the way they look and perform, and a vast improvement over the first game. With our first power under our belt, we decide to have some fun and proceed to go hammy on another brawler, dismembering him and unlocking the Just a Flesh Wound trophy. After dealing with the infected and the Blackwatch troops, we head back to the church to tell Father of our good deeds, and he agrees to help us rid the NYZ of Gen-Tech and Blackwatch. And can I just say, what the hell did this guy do before becoming a priest? Because check out this guy's setup. It's absolutely crazy. He's got like a whole little safe house down there, man. That's not normal. We're then introduced to BlackNet terminals. There are many terminals scattered throughout the game, and each terminal will be linked to a BlackNet dossier and its corresponding operations, which we of course need to take care of. They usually consist of picking up military crates, consuming a few people, and infiltrating a military base here and there. Though story related, this one for example was to consume a doctor in order to find out the location of another doctor in a military base who may know the location of Colonel Rooks. The doctor didn't know anything, but his computer did.
I'm at the computer, what do I press?
First, you need
I'm pressing the red button. Shit, now the screen's all fucked up. Shit's broken.
Okay, press the alternate key. ALT alternate.
Alt? There's no fucking alt. I got a fucking squiggly line key. I got a fucking key with a triangle on it. What the fuck kind of keyboard is this anyway?
Oh, James, calm down. There should be a ball with a blue square on it.
Okay, that's more like it. Bringing up the personnel database. Alright, got the location.
We do discover that Colonel Rooks is at a nearby base and planning on giving some of his troops a briefing. Once escaping the base, we receive an offensive mutation and the Project Close trophy for completing a blacknet operation. We then infiltrate Rooks' base where we find him briefing his men on Gentek's new high-risk field tests that they are doing on civilians and to expect a body count increase. He then tells us to report to a Dr. Sheffield. We, of course, put a stop to some of these experiments, chow down on some human, and just have enough time to work it off before eating Dr. Sheffield. During this, we learn a little bit about a secret project, but not too much information. We then get a call from Colonel Rooks, who is still under the impression that we are a Blackwatch trooper, and informs us that the Gentek scientists are ramping up the power of the weaponization program because of our antics. He then tasks us with guarding the testing facility that the scientists are stationed at, and once we arrive, discover that they are actually crazy enough to have a Hydra contained. However, it seems to sense that Hela is nearby and breaks free. Of course, we have to deal with it, but it does reward us with the Tendril Arms power. We then get a call from Father Guerra where he tells us that he has re-established contact with his source Athena and that she has the location of another Gentek test site where they are experimenting on civilians. We head to the base, proceed to murder everyone in my way until we are eventually face to face with a WAMP, hardened infected creature known as a Juggernaut. He put up a bit of a fight, but in the end we bring him down, consume him and get access to the shield ability. Father Guerra then calls us in a panic and tells us that Blackwatch have found out that he has been helping us and are trying to assault the church. We head there and proceed to decimate a few waves of Blackwatch troopers, and while doing this unlock the Wanted Man trophy for triggering 50 alerts.
4-4, the hot dog on your fucking roof. Shake him, shake him.
After stopping the assault, we find and rescue Father Guerra where he tells us that he will move his operations to the green zone in order to continue to help us. We then infiltrate a military base where we find Dr. Koenig. He tells us that Gentek is forcing him to work for them and that he actually wants to help us. He tells us of Project Orion, a military experiment to create super soldiers, and while trying to put a stop to it, we discover that the Phase 2 variants of these super soldiers actually have Hela's DNA infused into them, making them tougher. Luckily, they only have one successful Phase 2 variant, though it's still not tough enough for us.
No! No!
We also managed to find and consume Dr. Burke where we learned that Koenig had actually double-crossed us and was actually trying to get us killed. I know, who would have guessed, right? Upon confronting Dr. Koenig, he jumps into a military helicopter and proceeds to call the pilot a dumbass for attempting to evacuate rather than stay and fight. He should have chose the evacuate option because, as he should know by now, military choppers are of little to no issue for us. We take his chopper down, but Dr. Koenig has a little surprise up his sleeve.
What the fuck? What are you?
Koenig reveals to us that he is in fact infected with the MRSA virus as well and that he is working with MRSA himself. This also introduces us to a new enemy type called the Evolved, a nice welcome addition to the game. Of course, we take down the Doctor and consume him. In his memories, we discover that Alex Mercer has been recruiting these Evolved from within the leadership of Gentek and that Sabrina Galloway is in line for CFO, and that Mercer wants his team of Evolved ready for the plan in the Green Zone. Out of the memory, Mercer makes an appearance and Hela demands to know why Mercer never mentioned these Evolved before. He explains that he essentially has Evolved scattered all through the NYZ, and once he had enough, him and Hela would lead the army of Evolved against Gentek and Blackwatch. Heller then confirms that the virus will be destroyed along with them, to which he suspiciously agrees. However, we know our boy Alex is lying.
Lying motherfucker.
We then unlock the Mad Scientist trophy for completing natural selection. Now our work was done in the yellow zone, we then use the military's air bridge transport to catch a ride over to the green zone, where we meet up with Father Guerra to tell him of what we know. He also tells us that Athena was able to track down the location of where the second outbreak started and managed to get her hands on some surveillance footage. The location was, of course, Penn Station, the exact same location as the first outbreak and the exact same guy who started it, Alex Mercer. Only this time, rather than breaking a vial, he manages to fire numerous amounts of spores out of his own body in order to spread the virus. This, of course, means that Mercer was in fact personally responsible for the death of Heller's family. Coming away from the story for a little while though, we then take the time to do a little bit of free roam, explore the new green zone and just in general get a little bit stronger, and during this time we earn a nice little handful of trophies. We then manage to track down Sabrina Galloway, and she offers to help us track down the Evolved in exchange for not ending her life. Seeing as we need to cut down the numbers of Evolved Mercer has at his disposal, we take her up on this offer. Shortly after this, we discover from Father Guerra that Blackwatch has announced the creation of a cure for the virus that they've named White Light. Now at this point we spend the next few missions investigating Blackwatch, which lead us to body snatching Lieutenant Riley and becoming Colonel Rooks' right hand man. We work with Sabrina to take out numerous evolved agents hidden within Gentech and Blackwatch, and also investigate the White Light cure, where we discover that Mercer had managed to gain access to White Light, which allowed him to tamper with the cure, mixing it with his own blood culture. And after executing a contained release of White Light, we discover that it will either turn you into a feral evolved, just infect you, or straight up kill you. Realizing that White Light is now essentially just a weapon to spread the virus at a much faster rate, we head to a large White Light depot in order to destroy it. Upon getting to the depot, however, Mercer turns up and he's not happy with what we've been doing and attempts to kill us. However, it turns out that we are actually stronger than what Mercer thought, and he isn't actually able to kill us, and of course then gives us the whole spiel of how he will make us suffer. Like, yeah, sure you will, pal. After Mercer runs away, we discover that he was planning on using a massive infective creature known as the Goliath to destroy the tanks and release the White Light. Of course, this means boss fight time, and the way you approach the Goliath is completely different to the way you typically approach 99% of the enemies in the Prototype series. You see, the boss has 3 specific weak points that is the only effective way to deal damage, and in order to get those weak points to show, we must avoid his attacks until he tires out, allowing us to dismember his limbs. It wasn't too long before the Goliath was brought down, and shortly after we get a call from Father Guerra, who asks us to help him, as infected are trying to break into his safe house, with the call ending just as the infected break through. We rush over to the church, but we already knew this wasn't going to end too well, and find Father Guerra dead on the floor. Moments later, we get a phone call from Athena where she reveals to us that she is Dana Mercer, Alex's sister from the first game, and asks us to head to the red zone to meet up with her as she has information about our daughter. The mission ends and we unlock the Something to Live For trophy for completing the Fall from Grace mission. And while we made our way through that section of the game, we also unlocked a few trophies along the way.
There you are. Not so tough now, are you, Riley?
We make our way over to the red zone, and after preventing Blackwatch from discovering and capturing Dana, we eventually meet the woman herself. She reveals to us that our daughter is alive and is being held somewhere by Blackwatch. Of course, at this point, Hella's only concern is his daughter Maya. However, Dana convinces him to continue working towards bringing down Mercer and his plans, while she searches for Maya's location. We began by helping Blackwatch troops destroy the remaining barrels of white light, and after doing so are cut off mid-phone call with Dana and interrupted by Sabrina Galloway. She tells us that she has uncovered information on Project Firehawk, and we then meet up with her to somewhat discuss it more. After having a chance to investigate it ourselves, we discover that Project Firehawk was basically designed to wipe out the entire city, and that there would be countless infected and civilian casualties alike. We then call up Rooks, where he tells us that the person holding Amaya is a government agent named Griffin. We chase Griffin, chase some evolved that have Griffin, and then proceed to eat Griffin, where his memories reveal to us that Dr. Carson has been running tests and experiments on Maya, though to what extent we are unaware of. On our way to the next mission, we end up earning the Eating Your Way to the Top trophy for acquiring 30 upgrades through consumes. After this, we take a quick detour from saving Maya and turn our attention back to Operation Firehawk, where Sabrina tells us of the thermobaric choppers Blackwatch plan to use to level the city, and so we decide to destroy all of these thermobaric choppers to prevent this from happening. Back to the search for Maya, Hella decides that Rooks has outlived his usefulness and heads to his location in order to eat him. Once there, however, Hella overhears that Rooks too has a daughter, which prompts him to withhold on the mealtime and instead use Rooks to track down Dr. Carson. We find the Doctor and learn from his memories that they plan on transporting Maya out of the NYZ, and that the Doctor was planning to be on that transport. Of course, it wouldn't be as simple as save your daughter, which leads us to another evolved fight. After consuming the evolved, we learn that Mercer apparently has some special plan for Maya and that he wants her due to her unique genetic makeup. Rooks then calls us and asks us to meet him. Once there, still partially believing we are Riley, confronts us on what we have been doing. Hella then reveals himself, leading the Colonel to realise that his right-hand man has been dead for some time. Hella at this point, however, doesn't want to kill Rooks and instead tells him that all he wants is to get Maya back.
Rooks, all I care about is getting Maya back. Just stay out of my way, please.
We then head back to Dana and ask her if she has any new information on Maya's location when we receive a message from Rooks on an open broadcast. We see Maya in the background and Rooks tells us that if we want her, we have to go get her. Of course, we head straight to the Gentech headquarters that she is being held at, and for a single time use in the game, get to essentially command some juggernauts into helping us break down a door. After breaking down the door, we come face to face with Rooks and two other soldiers. He then proceeds to shoot both of his men before telling us to take our daughter and leave the city. However, upon getting into the room that she was being held in, we discover that Galloway isn't happy at all at her advances that we've been turning down and has kidnapped our daughter. Hella, now absolutely steaming, beelines it straight for Mercer and his cronies, where we also unlock the What a Bitch trophy for completing the Labour of Love mission.
Go. Do whatever you have to. He's not my brother anymore.
We then find Mercer, where we ask him where Maya is.
Where's Maya?
Safe for the moment.
You're gonna tell me, either on your own, or after I skull fuck you and drain your memories out the hole.
Scary.
At this point, Mercer reveals to us his grand plan. He believes that humanity is becoming stagnant and dying and wants to take over the world so that humanity can evolve into one mind. He believes there would be no disease, no conflict or suffering, and that he wants Maya because her and Hella's DNA is oddly resilient to the virus, and he wants her to become the mother of the new world. Mercer then proceeds to consume all of the other evolved around him, including Sabrina, which allows him to gain some kind of boost in strength, and we are then thrown into our final boss fight of the game, the Alex Mercer boss fight. And I have to say, this has to be the best boss fight across both of the games. The fight consists of 3 stages where Mercer will cycle through powers, typically using 2 at a time. If you happen to hit him with the same power that he is using, he'll be able to counter you, and I can't lie, he hits pretty hard, and it is very easy to get carried away with slashing and not doing a lot of dodging, just like I did multiple times, and as there's nobody around to consume, it's not like we can just get our health back. However, the best part of this fight is the final quick time event. After consuming Mercer, Hella sends out a huge wave of tendrils across the city, wiping out all of the infected, before finally meeting back up with Dana and his daughter Maya.
What do we do now?
The credits roll, the story ends as a happy ever after, and we unlock another trophy. So with that being the end of the story, guys, you already know what time it is. It's time to start our cleanup stage. Now, we needed to make our way around each of the 3 zones in the NYZ and collect all of the collectibles and complete all of the required side activities needed for the trophies. Luckily for the collectibles, we only needed to collect black boxes, in which there were 45. See, significantly less than the 250 that was in the first game, and that's not even including the Web of Intrigue targets. And for the side activities, they were pretty simple. They just required us to complete all of the Blacknet dossiers by completing all of the operations, destroy all of the field ops, and destroy all of the infected layers in the game. We also get the Altogether Now trophy for getting 10 or more kills with a single black hole attack. So here's a little edit of those 4 trophies popping now. So there we go, guys. That's all of the collectibles completed. Now, if we just take a look at the map ever so quickly, as you can see, NYZ, bottom left corner, 100% complete. All we need to do, theoretically, to, like, I guess, get all of the collectibles is do all of the consumes for our upgrades. But that's something that we'll probably do throughout New Game Plus, because we still need to fully upgrade Hella for that trophy, and we need to do hard mode anyway, so we'll get all 3 of those done in the same playthrough, hopefully. For now, though, apart from those 3 trophies, we're going to start clearing up all of the miscellaneous trophies that we have left, and what we need to do now is get to the top of the Empire State Building for another trophy, so let's head there now. And there we go, Icarus trophy unlocked. Let me get safe. There we go, reach the highest point in the world. Another trophy done and out of the way. And there is a trophy for gliding for 25 seconds consecutively. And surely this is the best place to do it. So let's see if we can do that. I don't think we've done it. I don't think we've done it. I really don't think we've done it. Oh no, we done it. We done it. So above it all. Spend at least 25 consecutive seconds in the air. Okay. I didn't think we did that. That seemed like we got to the ground way too fast. But okay, we done it. That's another trophy done out of the way. Okay, so the trophy that I'm trying to do now is for traveling half a mile using only like wall run, dash, and gliding. And that's for the floor is lava trophy. Now, I don't know. I'm hoping that didn't count as the ground. I don't know if we have to land first before it will give it to us, or whether it will give it to me while we're in the air. I'm hoping it gives it to me while we're in the air, because how am I supposed to know? Oh no, there we go. The floor is lava. Let me just quickly get onto land, or onto the roof. Travel half a mile using only wall run, glide jump, and air dash. There we go. That's another trophy done and out of the way. Okay, so what we're going to try and do now is mount a helicopter using the whip fist. And okay, that got interrupted, but we still got the trophy. I caught a big one. Mount a helicopter using whip fist. Thought we actually had to mount it and not get interrupted, but I'm not turning down a trophy, so nice, that's done, out of the way. See, this is what's supposed to happen. That is what's supposed to happen. Okay, and with the strike team, we're going to use this to karate kick a helicopter and unlock the arcade action trophy. There we go, karate kick a helicopter. That is 2 trophies out of the way. Okay, seeing as we have this strike team, I've decided to build up my mass and call in some of my friends. And we're going to get them to attack the helicopters, take them out, and we need to do this 5 times to get another trophy. Let's hope. Okay, they're not a bad aim. They're not a bad aim. There we go. That's another one down. There we go. Sick 'em. Okay, I didn't actually get 5 helicopters. They must have done it throughout the story mode, but there we go. Sick 'em trophy. Destroy 5 helicopters using pack leader. Okay, so next we're going to try and get 20 kills with a hammer fist dive attack. So I figure let's try and just round a bunch of these up. This should be enough, shouldn't it? I don't know how this is going to work out. And there we go. Cannonball trophy unlocked really easy, apparently. 20 more kills with a single hammer fist dive attack. Next, we're going to use this lovely volunteer here to try and get 10 kills with a single biobomb. I don't think we're going to get it here. The enemies are just like kind of too far spread apart. There's a nice little grouping over here, actually. Let's see if this works. No trophy. Come on, over here. Look, there's loads of them there. That's not far enough. Okay, it is far enough. You're the bomb. 10 or more kills using a single bio bomb. Nice, another trophy done, out of the way. Didn't think we was going to get it there. I thought there wasn't enough people, but I thought that was the last one, and we got that trophy. And here we go. Hijack Be Nimble trophy. Stealth hijack 5 tanks or APCs. Nice, another trophy done, out of the way. Let's continue on. Seeing as we are in a Blackwatch base, there must be a few soldiers around, right? So we're going to stealth consume 50 soldiers until we get the trophy. Or stealth consume the remaining soldiers we need until we get the trophy. And there we go. 1 by 1 trophy unlocked. Stealth consume 50 Blackwatch troopers. There we go. Nice, trophy unlocked. We haven't got that many left now. Okay, so I've come into an event because I need to use my shield to block 20 attacks. And I don't know how many I've done already, so we're just going to keep doing this until we get the trophy. And there we go, the best offense trophy. Counter enemy attacks 20 times using the shield. I thought the event would probably be the best place to do this because I couldn't find like any brawlers or any of like the really big military guys in any of the bases or any of like anywhere. So I thought an event would probably be the best place to do it. And it was. We got it done relatively quickly. Okay, so we have 1 more trophy left before we can move on to our final 3 trophies of the game and our final playthrough. And that is to take out a strike team within 15 seconds, which there is one now, so come on. Where is it? It's up here. Come on, Hella, grab it, finish it. And there we go. Strike you're out trophy. Destroy a strike team in 15 seconds or less. So guys, that is it. That is all of the miscellaneous trophies done out of the way. We've got 3 more trophies remaining. All we need to do is go through and finish the game on hard difficulty, which we can do that on New Game Plus. So we have all of our powers. So it should hopefully be just a breeze, you know, a walk in the park to do this. And we also need to finish upgrading our boy Hella here. But we should be able to do that throughout our New Game Plus playthrough. We should get the rest of the consumes that we need, and obviously just finish leveling him up in general. Okay, so I was originally going to leave this for my hard playthrough, but as I was traveling through the city, I found down here my last, well, I believe my last consume that I need in order to get a trophy. So we're going to try and get this done. This will fully upgrade my hammer fist, I believe, or should fully upgrade my hammer fist, unless I'm missing any more that I don't know about. And this should be the last consume that we need. So let's see what happens. There we go. Consume him. And there we go. We get the trophy finally full. Acquire all 46 upgrades through consumes. Nice, that's another trophy done, out the way. All we literally need to do now is just continue to level up Hella, fully upgrade him through just leveling up and gaining the XP points through that. And that is something that will be done through our Hard Game Plus playthrough. So, yeah, with only 2 trophies left, it's time to start this hard playthrough. Oh man, I'm so excited. We're getting so close, and it's been so fun. It has been so fun. I'm hoping this isn't too much of a stressful experience. And let me tell you, hard mode was an absolute walk in the park. Granted, this was probably made 10 times easier by the fact that we had all of our previous upgrades and powers. So we were able to both negate a hell of a lot of damage as well as deal a lot of damage. In a way, and I kind of hate to say it considering the amount of stress and like pain I went through trying to platinum Prototype 1, but it's almost a shame that we were able to go through the entire game without really encountering any difficulties. Obviously, this isn't actually a bad thing, however, I would have personally liked to have seen more of a challenge throughout the game, although realistically, the only person stopping me from actually having that in some kind of way was me, as I could have easily gone through hard mode without any of my upgrades. Hard mode itself though really did not take long at all, a few hours really, and obviously while making our way through the entire game again, we was able to fully level up Hella by unlocking our final upgrades and unlocking the All Growed Up trophy.
Dana, I need into emo.
Okay, so we're in the final boss fight, guys. This is it. We are so close to getting this platinum trophy right now, and he hits hella hard, man. Damn, he is draining my health. Oh my god! Every time he hits me, he takes off like quite a decent chunk. That's it. Do your spike thing. Okay. And again, look, we're almost dead. Look, you might as well just kill me, mate. I know you're gonna do this. And we're dead, and we're flying as well, man. Okay, let's try that again. Yes, okay, block. Yeah, we got this, guys. This is the end. Sever arm. Take that bad boy off. Yeah, go on. Hit me again. Block that. Slice that bad boy off. Waching! Block this. And proceed to absolutely rip off his arms. And that's it. Alex Mercer is dead. Oh, really? Come on. Keep going. Yes. And that's it. Woo, that's that boss fight done. I'm going to skip this. And we're at the credits. Still no trophy. Come on. We might have to skip this as well. So, yeah, we'll skip this. There we go. Master Prototype Trophy. Complete the game on hard difficulty. Oh my god. That means also Platinum Trophy unlocked. Unlock all trophies. Oh my god. Absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing. Loved coming back to this game, man. Anyway, guys, with that being the Platinum Trophy, this brings us to the end of the video. I had such a fun time playing through this game. The combat is so enjoyable. It's so easy to just pick up the control and get into it. It doesn't take ages to feel overpowered. You kind of almost feel overpowered from the get-go. And in a game where you're given super strength, super speed, given all these powers, feeling overpowered is key. You know, there's been so many games where you're supposed to be this superhero or this being that has all these incredible powers, incredible strength, and then it ends up taking you like 20 punches to the face just to knock someone out. Whereas in this game, you literally punch them once and they're gone. Like, you feel overpowered, and being able to just absolutely demolish your enemies makes this game so enjoyable. Obviously, you had more activities to do in this game than you did the first one. It wasn't just limited to events, and in fact, you didn't actually have to do any events in this game. You had all these different kind of activities to do, from operations where you infiltrated military bases to just simply taking out some field operatives. It was certainly better than just going from event to event to event and grinding out for the high score. And when it comes to collectibles, there wasn't that many to get. There was only around 50 to collect, so it was very quick to do. You didn't feel burned out by the end of it. Finally, would I recommend anyone to platinum this game? Yeah, go for it. It's incredibly short. You know, you can get this game done in about 20-25 hours. Very short. It's not hard at all. Even the hard difficulty is made 10 times easier due to the fact that you can New Game Plus it with all your abilities. So yes, 100% I would recommend platinum in this game. But anyway, guys, that brings us to the end of the video. Obviously, you may have noticed we are trying something a bit different with the camera. I don't know why I looked over there. It's because my screen's over there. But yeah, we are trying something different with the camera. Hopefully you guys like it, I guess, or don't mind. I don't really know. It just makes it a little bit easier, I guess. Allows me to do a little bit more interaction. Obviously, if you guys have made it this far, then I absolutely love every single one of you. If I could kiss you right now, I would, but unfortunately I can't. So you're just gonna, there we go, a little kiss for you. Obviously, guys, if you did enjoy the video, then make sure to hit that like button and share this video around. It shows your support, and your support is always greatly appreciated on my channel. If you've got any recommendations for some games to platinum, let me know down in the comments below. Have you played Prototype 2? What do you think of it? Have you played both the games? What do you think of the entire series? What about the storyline? Do you like the combat? Let me know down in the comments below. Did any part of this game give you troubles? Again, let me know in the comments down below. I love reading the comments. I try to respond to as many as I can. And obviously, guys, if you did enjoy the video, then I don't know why if you haven't already, but make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn notifications on to stay up to date with everything I upload. I hope you all have a great day, and I'll see you all in the next video.